It's a total team effort. Our guys just keep grinding, keep fighting. We know our backs against the wall 0-2, but we never give in. The job Pat Beverly's been doing, has been, tremendous.
We talk about how Ty Lue has been great at making adjustments, how Ty Lue has probably been the best coach in the playoffs, how Ty Lue is putting the Clippers in the best position to be successful. He's been doing a lot, and how Ty Lue is doing it is amazing. He's definitely getting the best out of his players with what he has. He's definitely getting the best out of, every player on the team, the bench included. You look at the way Terrence Mann is playing. He's playing inspired basketball. He may not score a lot of points, but, he's playing hard on defense. He's making good plays, and they're playing within their means. And I feel like Ty Lue deserves a lot of credit for how good the Clippers are playing. The Clippers are playing at a level where really they have the mentality of being down 0-2 is something they prefer almost, or at least it seems like they're playing that inspired, or they're playing that way. It's like when the Clippers are down 0-2, it's almost as if they're playing like they're up 2-0 because they're playing with the same type of confidence and they're playing like, they can't lose. And I feel like, what happened last night was just an epitome of how good of a coach Ty Lue is. And, I've criticized Ty Lue on some things some decisions he's made. But in the end, you have to look at it like all the decisions that he made, whether you agree with them or disagree with him, he has his team ready for games. He has his team ready to go. He pushes all the right buttons for all his players, and he's getting the max out of pretty much every player on that squad. And for them to do this last night against a team like the Suns without Kawhi Leonard is amazing. Even though I did believe that Chris Paul would change the dynamic of the Phoenix Suns because he doesn't have the speed or the intensity that Cameron Payne plays with. And when Cameron Payne went out the game last night, I feel like that was what the Clippers needed to get him out the game. Because he's really been the focal point of killing them along with DeAndre Ayton. But, Cameron Payne's speed and getting past defenders it's almost too easy for him at times. And like I said, the way he played the last two games up until last night, I think he got hurt last night, really has hurt the Clippers. But I feel like Chris Paul kind of gave the Clippers the edge, to me, because like I said, Chris Paul plays with a slower pace and he's more like playing half-court basketball. And I feel like that's playing into the Clippers' hands. And I said that on yesterday's video, and I'm going to stick to that because I feel like that can help going in this series going forward, because they're definitely going to play Chris Paul, and he's definitely slower than Cameron Payne. So it's like when you look at the different dynamics that both of them bring, it's almost as if the Clippers are going to benefit more when Chris Paul's in there anyway, because, the Clippers are long, and when they decide to play defense the way they did last night, especially in that second half, they can really make things difficult for Chris Paul. They can make things really difficult for a lot of players, for the rest of the players on the Suns. And like I said, before, I got to give credit where credit is due. Shout out to Patrick Beverly, man. The job that he has done on Devin Booker has been amazing. Devin Booker is a premier scorer to me. I look at him as, arguably one of the best scorers, if not the best scorer in the playoffs left. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what Patrick Beverly has been doing to him the last couple games has been, really, really good, because the defense that he's putting on one of the premier scorers in the game, especially somebody that Stephen A. Smith said that was the next Kobe Bryant, is really remarkable. and I got to give Patrick Beverley a lot of credit. And me personally, I'm saying I would have gave the player of the game last night to Patrick Beverley because his aggressiveness, how he played, the way he is in Devin Booker's head can really change this whole series. Because I could tell you, if Devin Booker doesn't have another 35 point game again in this series with Patrick Beverley being on him, just, making him work for everything. Or should I say this? Maybe I should say if Devin Booker doesn't have another efficient shooting game in this series, if he's going to go 6 for 20, 5 for 19, 8 for 22, 9 for 30 or something like that. If he's shooting inefficiently in this series going forward, the Clippers have a great chance of winning this series. Matter of fact, the Clippers have a great chance of winning every game going forward if they can't get that production out of Devin Booker, because like I said, the Phoenix Suns, they live off of his offense and it feeds, and everybody else kind of feeds off of it. Jay Crowder gets more open shots, gets more looks when Devin Booker is shooting well. Mikal Bridges get more looks when Devin Booker is shooting well. Now, Cam Johnson, he might be the only exception. He kind of can get his shot, pretty much at any point in time. He just plays the game from a really, really good, standpoint. He has a really good IQ for the game. So Cam Johnson, really, he's probably the most underrated player on the Suns. But, honestly, he's really good. So I can't say too much about him, but I'm telling you, like, if Devin Booker doesn't play up to the level that he's capable of playing, and if Patrick Beverley can neutralize him, I'm telling you, this series really might come to an end soon. Because you could blame it on the mask, you could blame it on a lot of things, but last game before he had on the mask, Patrick Beverley has locked him up. So I'm going to see exactly how Devin Booker, adjusts going forward in the series. But definitely kudos to Patrick Beverley and what he's been able to do. It's been amazing to watch so far. Hopefully he continues that. And, I was glad to see Marcus Morris hit a couple shots last night, a couple big shots. I feel like anytime he's in rhythm or he's knocking down shots, the Clippers just don't lose. It's just something about the Clippers go kind of how Marcus Morris goes to a degree. It's kind of weird to say that in hindsight, but it's actually kind of true. Like when he's on fire, I haven't seen a game from the Clippers yet where Marcus Morris is on fire and they lose. Maybe I have, maybe I just can't remember, but I just can't remember a game seeing him where, he's doing his thing and they lose. And he wasn't on fire or anything like that last night, but he hit some big shots when they needed it. And he played really good defense. And just overall as a team, they played really good. And shout out to Paul George. He made some really big shots, too. He definitely has been, the Clippers anchor. And I feel like he definitely made up for last game with the 2 missed free throws. I feel like he made up for that. I feel like he kind of, made amends with that. And, he moved on to the next and he didn't let it get him down. He didn't let it wear down his confidence. He stayed on course. He played exactly how I think he should and how most of the world think he should. And, hey, now he's playing like the real playoff P. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely happy for him. And, like I said, looking at last night's game definitely gives the Clippers some encouragement. But there's definitely more pressure on them to win the next game. And what I mean by that is, you got it down 2-1. Now it's at the mind. Now you're at the now you're at the point where you're not getting swept. But now you're at the turning point of the situation where you need to win next game as well, so it could be a tie series, because you don't want to go down 3-1 against this team and then the following game you go back to Phoenix. That's just not that's not what needs to happen. So my point is, enjoy this win, but dust it off, because it's on to the next. And tomorrow is a big game, of course. And the Clippers are going to have to be ready, because I definitely believe Chris Paul is going to be more ready and he's going to be more enthused to prove everybody, he's going to be more, amped to prove to everybody like, hey, that was one game. I didn't have my rhythm. Now I got my rhythm. Let's put the nail in the coffin. That's what Chris Paul and the rest of the Suns organization is thinking. But at the same time, the Clippers have to be thinking, we still got home court advantage. We're still in our house, and we got a bunch of dogs on defense. And as long as we can neutralize Devin Booker some and continue to just play hard and execute plays down the stretch and have less turnovers, we can beat the Suns again. And that's exactly what the mentality of the Clippers should be. Because when you look at it, it's a situation where the Clippers know they're undermanned because they don't have Kawhi Leonard, but they know they've been in this situation before and they're actually kind of comfortable with it now. It's almost as if the Clippers have embraced being down 0-2 and being down in series to make comebacks and fulfill the destiny by winning it, completing the destiny by winning the series. So it's like the Clippers have that mentality. They're built for it. They're ready to do it, and they're hungry. And, I'm be honest with you, I just haven't seen, no quit in this team. I've seen this team fight every minute, every last drop, and give you everything they have. And like I said before, also, shout out to Reggie Jackson, man. The guy's been amazing. He's been great these whole playoffs. I really, honestly, if they, like I said in last night's video, if this is the finals, you can give Reggie Jackson the MVP, the finals MVP, if this was the finals. Cause he definitely, he definitely would deserve it. Cause he's shooting at a high percentage. He's taking shots that he is comfortable with making. And Ty Lue is putting him in position to make those shots and get him comfortable in the spots that he likes. And he is capitalizing. Every time Reggie Jackson shoots it, it's almost like you just believe it's going in. I don't ever feel like Reggie Jackson's shooting a shot that he can't make. And it just feels that way, I'll say this, if the Clippers happen to get past this series and make it to a finals and by some miracle, if they, get past the series, make it to the finals and win it, I think they should consider Reggie Jackson as the finals MVP. Because he has just been, consistent, and he has been efficient with his shooting. It has not been many games that I looked at in this playoff where Reggie Jackson didn't shoot really, shoot efficient and play well within his means or play beyond his means in better terms, because he's definitely playing at a level I think a lot of people didn't know that he could play at. And, looking at this team, they have a really, really good nucleus, really, really good deep team. And I feel like they can compete with anybody, even without their star, their leader and Kawhi Leonard. They can compete. Now, whether they can win a series, a whole 7-game series without him, well, that's, remains to be seen. But at the same time, they can definitely compete with anybody. And I'm really proud of what they've been doing this playoffs. I think they really proved a lot of people wrong. I really feel like they opened up a lot of eyes to how good of a team they are. And, I really hope that they, continue doing what they're doing. And I really truly hope also that, Kawhi comes back as well. I feel like, I don't know, like I saw him we saw him in the skybox, the stands, up there with his family last night and everything. And he looked in good spirits. He didn't look down, even though, some people might say he should have been sitting down there with the team. I'm not going to go into all that. The man got his family up there. He's in watching the game, rooting his team on, doing exactly what a leader should do. And we have to appreciate that. We have to appreciate that. We really do. He was engaged, clapping anytime they, made a basket and scored. He was really happy for the success of the team. And I really feel like as a leader of the team, that's how you got to be. And I feel like Kawhi Leonard is definitely, probably in their ear every day, more than likely. And that was a good sighting, but we definitely want to see him on the court rather off the court, because we know what Kawhi Leonard brings. And I tell you what, if they get Kawhi Leonard, somehow they get him back this series, I don't give a damn what Chris Paul do. I don't give a damn what Cameron Payne does. I don't really give a damn about Devin Booker and what he does either. Because if they get the claw back, this series is over with. It is. And like I said, I'm not sure if Kawhi Leonard's going to come back. Nobody is. Nobody is. Just day to day with him. We don't even know. But I tell you what, I don't even think this would even be a series if Kawhi Leonard was here. I think the Clippers will win this series 4-1, 4-2 if Kawhi Leonard was there. Hell, they still might win in 6 games, the way they played last night, if they can continue that. If Patrick Beverley can continue what he did, and Paul George can play, within his means, and Reggie Jackson continue being Reggie, Action Jackson, and, Marcus Morris can chip in along with everybody else. I mean, that's just, that's just how it goes. That's real talk. But at the same time, I'm really, really, satisfied with what I saw last night in this team. But there's so much more work to be done. Shout out to the coaches, Ty Lue and the coaching staff, Chauncey Billups and all them. They really got these guys, they're really pushing the right buttons. And that's really a good thing to see. And they're playing together as a unit. And they're the most together, complete team that I see left in the playoffs. And, the Suns slip up, the Clippers can beat them. So I hope it continues, and hope good things continue to happen and go the Clippers' way. Seems like, the Clippers might have found something last night in last night's game, advantages that they can have, that they can use. Zubac played good, a lot better. He definitely neutralized a little bit of DeAndre Ayton in the second half. I thought that was good. And, they kind of made it difficult for the Suns in the second half. The Suns won't get anything they wanted. And that's exactly how they have to play. But we'll see how next game goes. We'll see exactly if the Clippers can keep up the same intensity, because they're going to need it. And they might need a little bit more, because I think the Suns are going to come out a little bit more prepared, a little bit more ready next time. But hey, that's my take on the situation. And let me know what you think in the comment section. And we'll go from there. And hey, Cali out.
Don't be so